It is the Friday Soccer Paycheck, March the 10th, 2023. We are approaching the halfway point of March. And how about this? Only a dozen games left, give or take, here in the English Premier League and in the championship. So the finals are looming. And when we mean finals in EPL, we just mean the one team that finishes on top. So it's going to be pretty much a two-horse race at this point with Manchester City and Arsenal, and then Burnley in firm control of the championship. And then the other four teams, Sheffield still pretty comfortable. Not that they've been playing super great lately, but teams looming there in the backdrop for sure. Still catchable at this point. About 35, 36 games played each in the championship. And in the EPL, if I go back to that table, we're looking at 25, 26, 24, somewhere in there. So they've had more games in the championship for sure. They played a little bit more during the World Cup break, a little bit more during the week as well. They'll have playoffs with the teams that finish 3 through 7. So this is the Friday Soccer Paycheck. This is America's favorite wagering soccer show. In fact, it may be the only one. And I'm going to apologize for no ticker in advance. If it looks like I just came through a car wash, basically the truth with the two workouts that we just did here. Health more important than the ticker today on a very, very tight Friday and really a hectic week here on the home front. Okay, so let's get to it. Only 2 games in hockey tonight, too. So a good night not to have the paycheck. Both of those favorites are huge. All right, so I got my odds up. Let's get to the Premier League table and just go over that as fast as we can. We'll try not to kill you for an hour here, but I think we'll need a good 40 minutes to get through what we need to anyway. Okay, Arsenal, here they are. They've lost to Manchester City. But since then, they've turned it around, and they have now won 4 in a row. So Arsenal, and the game last week was in the last second win against Bournemouth, a game that they should have had more goals in. But Bournemouth, give them credit, played hard. But Arsenal sits at the top with 63 points. Man City with 58. So they are looming. They play in early April, these two, and chances are that game may settle things there for at the end in terms of who's going to be the English Premier League champion. The top 4 spots are important for Champions League play, which is a valuable trophy. You want to be the best team in the world. So the occupiers of those spots right now are Man United, even though they got completely waxed 7-0 to Liverpool on Sunday. Tottenham, they lost to the Wolves, but they sit there with 45 points as well. Liverpool creeping up, though. They've crept up. They've had 4 wins in their last 5 with just a draw. So Liverpool has been a hot team. Newcastle has cooled off significantly, just 3 draws and 2 losses here in their last 5, 41 points now. And in fact, they've lost their last 2 in a row. Fulham loses to Brentford on Monday, but before that, they had 2 wins. And the 4 games before that with 2 draws, they have 39 points. Brighton with 38, Brentford with 38, Chelsea with 34. They finally get a win. Aston Villa has won 2 in a row, 34 points for them. So our best pick of the last 2 weeks has come through. How about that on the paycheck? Aston Villa has been by far our favorite pick if you've been listening to the show. 2 losses for Crystal Palace in their last 5 and a draw. When's the last time Crystal Palace has won a game? My God, I can't remember, to be honest. Wolverhampton has cooled off after their official hot start. Them and Crystal Palace with 27 points. And we're starting to get towards the drop-off zone here to see who gets relegated into the championship. And if you don't know how that works, again, the bottom 3 teams of the EPL in the finishing standings will go to the English Championship, okay? And the top 3 championship teams will come up to the English Premier League. Burnley, who has been a Premier League team, and Sheffield appear to be coming up. Now, Everton would be a bad relegation. They've been a long staple mark here in the Premier League, but them, Southampton, and Bournemouth are the bottom 3 teams. In fact, Leeds with 22 points is right there as well. They've recently been promoted in recent years. But looming there, too, is West Ham with 23 points, Leicester 24 points, Nottingham Forest 26. No one is safe up to 27. So Wolves, Crystal Palace 27, and 22 is the cutoff point right now with Everton, Southampton, and Bournemouth. No one is hot. Leicester has lost 3 in a row. That's a team we were picking up steam on with 2 wins in a row, but they have since cooled off, so that's a team we'll kind of push aside for the moment. They haven't even played good in their losses. In fact, when I looked at the injury reports, I got a great new updated injury list. And when I pulled that up today, Leicester, just all kinds of key players on there. Harvey Barnes is completely he's doubtful. He'll come back. Yuri Tielemans out. Victor Christensen out. Johnny Evans out. So James Justin, he's played 14 games. He's out for the season now with an Achilles. So Leicester, a team we're not going to play on likely at this point. And Harvey Barnes is actually having a pretty nice season. Okay, so no game today in the Premier League. We do have a game in the Championship. And let me see if I can get a score on that for you guys real quick, since I don't have the ticker. But if you're out there listening around, you have Stoke with a 2-0 lead over Blackburn. So Stoke is officially a hot team there in the Championship. But they have a 2-0 lead. It looked like rain, but when I turned on the rain in the forecast, when I turned on the Stoke game for just a minute, the field didn't look bad. Looked like a nice playing surface. So keep that in mind. If you lots of rain on and off here in the UK, but a lot of these fields are in such great shape. Doesn't matter if it's not raining at the moment. You're not talking about a lot of mud bog fest here. You might get a couple in the lower leagues for sure. But not in these world-class stadiums. But pay attention to the weather nonetheless. It is cold. Rain forecasted to start sometime in the 10 o'clock window games tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time. So, rain right at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the UK. Of course, that's a big area. I mean, that could vary. Figure that varies an hour or so either direction you go. So stay on top of your weather if you're looking for goals anyway. And know your playing surfaces as well. Bournemouth is the 7:30 game home against Liverpool. Liverpool's hot, but they were minus 250. And Bournemouth played well against Arsenal. I mean, would I doubt Bournemouth actually pulls off a win here? I guess I wouldn't. But this is the game I'll probably stay away from. You might actually get an over. Liverpool's been scoring goals. Maybe you give Bournemouth a little bit of credit at home. We haven't had that blockbuster super score fest here at 7:30, so maybe this could be it. Over 4.5 goals is just plus 380. Away team over 2.5 for Liverpool would be plus 150. You're still getting. I feel like that number is watered down from their big blowout win against Man United. And you got to remember, most of those goals came after the 40th minute. So for 40 minutes, they didn't score anything, and then they scored 7 goals in the last 50 minutes. But I'd have to hope for a collaborative effort on the over. I'm not going to trust Liverpool to get it by themselves. But over 4.5, I guess, would be a play. But that's a lot of goals. And again, pay attention to the weather out there at Bournemouth. It looks like rain potentially for sun. See, here's the thing. Every time I've looked at it, which I have a couple of days now, a couple times each day this week, you see the weather has completely changed. It was going to be pouring nonstop, for like 2 weeks, it looked like. And then, just your gloomy, cold, rainy UK days March worse than February type of dealio. But there are patches of sunshine, and as it is cold, it's not super cold. So 45, 50 degrees. If you get to that point, I mean, you can still figure you can get some goals. I mean, those guys aren't cold running around, not in that temperature. Yes, 25, yes. 45, no. Okay, next game on the board is 10 o'clock, Leeds against Brighton. Brighton is a cheap favorite, a minus 110. And they've surprised me to the good ever since they've lost their coach and Trossard. I was a little bit wary, and then they were winning, but barely. And I've tried to fade them a little bit. I think successfully once, not so successfully a couple other times. I'm not going to trust Leeds either. But Brighton, I guess, they're just a machine. I guess you just take them straight up. I could see them winning this game 2-0, 1-0, something like that. So Brighton has been a solid team overall. Can you get to 3 goals with Brighton? Let me see on the way side. Let's see. Because Leeds can give it up to you, too, as far as goals go. Again, check the weather. I mean, that's going to be the utmost importance. Oh, but to get to 3 goals for Brighton, it's 3-1 odds. Over 1.5 is minus 113. I think that's even a better bet than just taking them to win straight up. If you just get to 2 goals, figure you're good anyway. To cash, that's when they win 1-0, right? So, that's the thing. I'm not so sure we have the games that produce a lot of goals this week. Could this be one of them? I don't know. Now, they've been sluggish on offense, both of these teams, but Tottenham hosts Nottingham Forest at 10 o'clock. Tottenham, a big favorite, minus 240. Forest plus 650, draw plus 360. Honestly, I have a sneaky suspicion this is a week of draws, to be honest. Maybe you just round robin a bunch of draws and hope for the best. Nottingham has played decent. Not the worst. Let's see. As far as injuries go with Nottingham, they are pretty banged up. I mean, they have a lot of guys on the injury list. Tottenham has a few guys, too, like Emerson Royale. He's been hurt. Bittencourt, he's played a lot of games. He's gone for the season. And Forrest, I guess out of their injuries, I mean, their guys have, played about half the time. Some guys haven't played at all. So, what are they really missing in the end? But maybe I don't know. Plus 360 draw just sounds juicy here. Man, Tottenham just doesn't light it up like they should. But, man, I don't know. 2 draws, 2 losses for Nottingham in their last 4. It's not like they're playing super great. Tottenham does have 3 wins in their last 5, but 2 losses too. 46 goals scored for Tottenham, and Nottingham is not going to be anywhere close to that. Let's see. They only have 20 goals scored, a minus 24. So maybe not playing as good as we think. But I can't think of an over for this. So maybe a draw. I don't know. Maybe you hope for a lot of rain and you just kind of draw it out. Tottenham played in the Champions League, losers in that game. Actually, they lost on the aggregate, which means the combined score of 2 games. But they drew out Milan 0-0 in the rain the other day. So Leicester and Chelsea, 10 o'clock. I mean, Chelsea has a ton of injuries too. When I looked at their list, Leicester, the same boat, plus 280 for Leicester, minus 105 for Chelsea, plus 250 draw. Again, I just see this as a draw potentially. Why not? Why not round? I mean, there's going to be a week where there's going to be a ton of draws, a lot of 0-0, 1-1 games, and this literally could be it. Especially if we get the rain. But again, Leicester, we talked about their injuries. Chelsea is going to be terrible. Raheem Sterling, Aubameyang, Mason Mount out, Thiago Silva out, Cesar Azpilicueta out, Edouard Mendy out, N'Golo Kante out, Pierre Aubameyang out. So Chelsea, a ton of injuries. They got the youth movement kind of going on anyway. Why not a draw here, plus 250? I would throw them in. round robin for sure. Again, there's just no high scoring angles. Everton and Brentford, maybe you might get some goals in this game. The Everton, man, had a sneaky suspicion to take Everton on the over in the game last Sunday morning, and they got a bunch of goals in that game. Who was that against again? I want to say that was actually Nottingham. I could be wrong on that. Let's see. Oh, come on. On Sunday morning, that was, Nottingham Everton was 2-2. But they could have gotten more goals in that game. There was a fanatic pace. Fun game to watch, too. It was plus 1,300 on over 4.5 goals. And we were actually rooting for that. We actually cashed out and took a tiny win in what would have otherwise have been a loss. And again, oh man, Saturday, I don't think we were far off on our picks at all last week. I'm trying to think. It seems like so long ago. It's been such a crazy week trying to recap the games from last week. The one game we were off about, if we go back real quick, let's see. Man City, Newcastle, we were right about that. We were good with Arsenal, right about Aston Villa. We took a chance on West Ham. That did not live up to any good. We took a chance on an over in Tottenham. That didn't work out. We're done with that. And Leicester, we thought was going to smash Southampton, but Southampton made them look completely ugly. And then I think we had Man United. We did like the over in that game, but we thought Man United could get that win. No. 7-0 losers. But Everton and Brentford at 10 a.m. Eastern. Even up on the numbers there, plus 170 both sides of that, 210 for the draw. Again, I think this is a draw, to be honest. I think this is a 1-1 game, maybe 2-2 again. It would have shocked me to see a 0-0, not at all. Crystal Palace host Man City. Crystal Palace plus 800. The draw is plus 400, minus 280. Yeah, pay attention to this. Of whether I don't know. Man City, I feel like, is the one team who could play in the rain. Actually, the other team that plays good in the rain too is Burnley in the championship. Yeah, Burnley is a good rainy weather team. Let's see. But Man City, minus 280 on the road. Crystal Palace, the one thing they do is pack it in and play good defense at least. So, again, I'm not looking for an exorbitant amount of goals by Man City on the road here. And you're going to have to pay a premium, I think, anytime you're going to take them. Over 2.5 is plus 172. Over 3.5 is 5-1. I don't think they get 4 goals. Not at Crystal Palace. I don't think Crystal Palace scores, though. Man, I mean, this is one week you'd want to maybe – yeah, I don't know. Could this be a draw? Maybe. I doubt it. 1-0, 2-0 Man City. I think you just play that up the board to 3-0. Let's see. If we do a correct score, 1-0, 2-0, and 3-0 is 5-1, 5-1, 8-1. And your worst payout is plus 350 if Man City wins 1, 2, or 3-0. I don't think Palace scores because they can't score worth a lick anyway. Injuries for Man City. Not bad at all. They're completely healthy, actually. That's impressive. Crystal Palace. So no injuries to report there. Pretty healthy, too, Crystal Palace. So the two of the healthier teams in the Premier League as well. Premier League. Okay. The juices are just failed to get flowing here on these games, to be honest. Man United against Southampton. Wow, this could be Man United losing 7-0. They might want to take this out at Southampton. Could this be the one game that is a goal fiesta? Maybe. But Southampton they had nice players. They had Alcaraz, but he hurt himself celebrating. Young soccer players out there, don't do the knee slide. Don't run and slide knees first. That is the worst thing you could do. And the kid for Southampton, who was a nice player, got hurt. doing it. So I don't know. Man United at home with goals, over 2.5 goals for the home team. Again, it's not going to pay a lot, plus 146. Over 3.5 is plus 420. Again, I just don't see this as a super high scoring game. You got a nice effort from Southampton. And again, maybe just a draw. Some of these games some of these games will draw out. Don't be surprised if a Southampton draws, Crystal Palace, a Man City draw. None of that should shock you here in a cool, rainy March. Nottingham Forest plus 360. There's some nice prices on draws out here. And if you can hook a few of these together, you're going to get a nice little payout. So I think this is the 1 week we're going to try to take this angle. We don't really try to do this much, but something just tells me draw. Okay, let's see. What else do we got? Okay, that's 12:30 Saturday, and then a slew of games on Sunday. 10 a.m. on Sunday, a part of a trio of games. Oh, that is Man U and Southampton. Okay, so that's Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern. And then West Ham and Aston Villa, Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern. West Ham, I feel like they've quit at this point. I was trying to give them a chance. Aston Villa paying plus 240. Why would you jump off that train now? They've been playing well. Their losses have come to really, really good teams. Nothing that West Ham has done that has told me that they would win this game. This is the one game that I would not take a draw. Oh, I guess I could draw. It's draw or Aston Villa or nothing. I'm not going to take West Ham. I just feel like this is a 2-0 game. Aston Villa, 1-1 maybe, 2-2 maybe. I'm just looking for the super blowouts, and I just can't find them. If you're going to take a chance on 3 goals for Aston Villa, you get plus 750. Now, that's a number you can take a risk with just to take a chance, because Aston Villa has shown that they can win games and put some goals in the back of the net. So I think that's a nice price. I'm going to do everything Aston Villa. Again, 3 weeks in a row, our best play. Fulham and Arsenal, 10 a.m. Sunday. Again, look for the weather. It looks like cloudy skies now for this window of games. But you never know. And Craven Cottage could be the kind of slumpy, rainy atmosphere where these two teams, Fulham and Arsenal, stumble to a draw. I feel like Arsenal can play in bad weather, though. They're so precise with their passing and so good. Minus 175 favorite, plus 490 for the home team. Trying to crawl back the entire time against Brentford was Fulham, but they couldn't keep up with them on Monday. Injury-wise, too, Arsenal a little ripe for the picking, maybe. Kieran Tierney, Odegaard, doubtful. Trossard, doubtful. Nketiah, doubtful. I mean, these are some big names. Gabriel Jesus still out. Mohamed Elneny out. He's only played a couple of games. But Trossard's a big loss. Odegaard's a big loss. So Arsenal, are they right for the picking against Fulham? Maybe. Fulham at home. Know that with Arsenal. Lots of injuries. One of the healthier teams. I can see this being a draw. I wouldn't expect Arsenal to be full clicking on offense, to be honest. Odegaard makes a lot happen in there. Although Saka and Martinelli are still in there. And, they are just a good team overall. I would not doubt if this is another draw game at plus 320. That's worth a shot. Or even plus 490 on Fulham. I would take a shot on Fulham goals, maybe. Home team over 1.5 is plus 290. That's a nice price. So I like that. Fulham over 1.5 goals plus 290. And I'm going to click back and take Aston Villa. I want to take him straight up at 240, which is probably the best bet to do. But if we're going to take a chance here, away team over 1.5, we're going to try it. Okay. So we'll plug in Aston Villa and their away goals over 2.5. So we got 32-1 odds right now on Fulham to get 2 goals, Aston Villa to get 3 goals. That is not a bad. That's not a bad proposition. Okay. Let's see here. Fulham and Arsenal, we did that. And then the last game on Sunday, Newcastle host the Wolves. Newcastle should win this game. The Wolves have not been playing up. Newcastle's due for a big win. They need to destroy somebody. It might as well be the Wolves. Fabian Schär out, head injury. Joel Linton, he has a red card. He will sit out. Wolverhampton has a ton of injuries. Diego Costa, Hugo Bueno, He Chan Huang. None of these players have goals, though. Traore, he won't play. So, oh, that's the other Traore. Okay, not the guy you're usually used to seeing, the big man. Okay, let's see here. They have 2 Traores, so the bad Traore who never plays out. But Newcastle should win this game. I would have full faith in that. Let's go ahead and take goals for them because I think they can actually open it up. Good goalie, though, Jose Sarr for Wolverhampton. So that's the one thing. And Wolverhampton, a lot like Crystal Palace, does play a packed-in, nice defense. It's hard to get goals on them, I feel like. But Newcastle could have a nice day. 3-1 to get to 3 goals for Newcastle. It's going to be about the right price. And I'd rather take that number to get the 3 goals at 3-1 than have to lay 160 to win straight up. I'll just trust you get the 3 goals, win or lose. But if you do that, and we'll get some championship picks in this one. But our parlay build so far with the EPL is over 1.5 Fulham goals plus 290. Aston Villa away team goals plus 750. And Newcastle goals over 2.5 plus 300. $10 wins 1,300 on that beauty. We'll add some championship picks. I got to hit a couple commercials real quick. I got to run and take a quick break. We'll be back with the championship table. Go through the championship picks real quick.
Hey, does your home have algae or stains on the siding? Is there grime built up on your deck or brick patio? Coastal Pressure Washing Services has a warranty of professional services. From pressure washing to window cleaning to deck and fence staining, as well as dryer vent cleaning, you got it all. Call Coastal Pressure Washing at area code 757-439-9810 or visit our website at coastalpressurewashing.net. Again, call Coastal Pressure Washing at area code 757-439-9810 or visit our website at coastalpressurewashing.net.
Tired of your swimming pool's diatomaceous earth pool filter, the constant cleaning, green pool, cloudy water? I thought this was supposed to be clean. Trust your swimming pool's water quality with a custom sand filter install. A clean, easy solution for your swimming pool operations. Contact Dependable Solutions at 757-354-5517. Do you want to advertise with Deep End Broadcasting? Send us an email at deepend757@yahoo.com. That's deepend757@yahoo.com.
Know your gambling limits. Don't ever bet what you can't cover. Wagering on sports is only fun when you do it the right way. Not every bet will win. When you get on a bad run, know it and avoid trouble. Know your gambling limits.
Control your alcohol. Don't fight. Don't drink and drive. Your one punch could kill someone. It happens. You're behind the wheel. You may think you are fine, but then the other driver is under the influence of texting, and then you are done. Control your alcohol.
Family owned and operated, CP Shuckers Cafe and Raw Bar specializes in delicious cuisine, refreshing drinks, and a laid back atmosphere. We opened our doors in 1995 and have enjoyed being a place to either relax or celebrate ever since. Whether you are in the mood to indulge in a great meal with your friends and family or watch the game, we promise that our inventive menu, attentive service, and skilled bartenders will have you truly satisfied. Both of our locations have spacious outdoor patios for enjoying the breeze and catching a little sun. Our friendly staff at CP Shuckers will make your next dining experience a pleasant one by delivering personal care. We are open until 2 a.m. Full menu will be served until 10 p.m. and late night limited menu until 1 a.m. For larger parties, please give the location of choice a call. Pacific Avenue, 757-425-8676 or Shore Drive, 757-412-2929. More information at cpshuckers.com. Thank you for your continued support and have a shucking good time. Tired of your swim? All right, this is the Friday Soccer Paycheck. Let's get to the championship table. We'll recap the EPL stuff here after this. We'll just breeze through this. Burnley, again, at the top of the table. They will go back to the Premier League. That is basically a lock at this point. Although they haven't been playing their greatest. They have 3 draws in their last 5, but 2 wins to coincide with those. 77 points overall has them in a commanding lead in the championship. Sheffield United is second with 67 points, although they have lost 3 of their last 5. And then we have the team. Now, Sheffield, they hold on to second. They're promoted automatically as well. Now, 3 through 6 will play in a playoff. The winner of this mini tournament also gets promoted to the EPL. So Middlesbrough has 60 points. Blackburn with 58. They lose today. Luton Town, I'm not sure if they lost. Well, we'll see here in a minute if the score's still up. Luton Town is 57 points. Norwich, 55 points. Norwich playing nice. They have 4 wins in their last 5, and they've now scored 51 goals, which is third best, actually, but fourth best of any team outside the top 3. First best out of any team outside the top 3. So 51 goals for Norwich. Pay attention to that. So they're a hot team. Following them, trying to creep into the playoffs with 38 points. I'm sorry, 54 points. So 55 is the magic number to get into the playoffs. 54 points. 1 spot out of the playoffs is Millwall. 52 is Coventry. And then really you have a group of teams who could really still be there. 51 points each for West Brom and Watford. 49 for Sunderland. Preston, 47. Not too far out of it yet. You get 3 points for a soccer win. Stoke with 46. 45 starting to stretch it with Bristol and Hull. Especially if they keep doing what they've been doing, which is, I don't know, if you draw, you still get points, but there's more wins in the top half of the bracket than the bottom half. I'll say that right now. There's a lot of red on these teams coming up here. Bristol and Hull, 45 points. Reading, they won 2 out of their last 5, but 3 of those are losses in their last 5, 44 points. And here we go again, 17th through 24th. These teams have a combined 8 wins in the last 5 weeks. So that is terrible. That is 8 teams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Swansea, Rotherham, Birmingham, Queens Park Rangers, Cardiff, Blackpool, Huddersfield, and Wigan. The most desperate of those teams are Blackpool, Huddersfield, and Wigan. They all have 32 points, which puts them in the relegation into League One, which that would be a bad loss to get. Huddersfield was in the playoffs last year for one. Blackpool, you feel like you've seen their name in the championship. It'd be kind of sad to see them go. But only 2 wins for those 3 teams in the last 5 weeks, 32 points. And how about this? Cardiff, the team that they need to reach to get out of the relegation zone, 38 points. So they are 6 points back, and time is running out. They better get some wins fast. Queens Park Rangers, losers of 5 in a row, 39 points. Birmingham City, they've lost 4 out of their last 5 games. Wow, terrible. Rotherham does have a couple of wins recently. Swansea has lost 3 of their last 4. Reading has lost 3 of their last 4. So a lot of L's. I wasn't even counting Reading with their 2 wins. And that, let's see, 8 wins. Again, Swansea, Rotherham, Birmingham, Queens Park Rangers, Cardiff, Blackpool, Huddersfield, and Wigan are a combined 8 wins. The draws will be faster to count. 5, 6, 7. 8 draws. So 8 wins, 8 draws. 5, 9, 15, 16, 24 losses. So 8, 24, and 8 are the teams ranked 17th through 24th. Now, you think that's just, if you say 17 to 24, it sounds like you just count 7 teams. But you have 8 teams. Swansea, Rotherham, Birmingham, Queens Park Rangers, Cardiff, Blackpool, Huddersfield, Wigan, your 17th through 24th place teams. Okay, to the odds. Now we know who to pick on and who to jump on too. So we're getting some clarity for sure in the championship. We thought that would actually come. Nice payout last week. Not a super huge one. Could have been huge if we played even higher goals than what we took. Basically went over 3.5 in the Norwich game and the other game. I mean, you're talking small fry bet here. Nothing crazy. Let's see here. Yes, Saturday. First game. Again, be wary of weather. But we have Bristol and Blackpool. Blackpool needs a win bad. They're in that relegation zone. Bristol, they are not good, right? I mean, they're in that group of teams that is 14th anyway. They have 45 points. They haven't done anything to show that they can win. They haven't scored goals, just 43 goals scored. Blackpool 33. We'll just do a no play here. Early game anyway. Who cares? Again, check your weather. West Brom and Huddersfield. Now, Huddersfield is bad again, but West Brom, they've taken a turn for the worse. I feel like themselves, although they won their last time out. They do have 2 wins in their last 5. They're just not consistent. 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw. I mean, that's as plain Jane as you can get. But they are the 9th place team. If you do have conducive weather conditions, I guess you do hope that you give up goals, because Huddersfield has given up, or score goals. Huddersfield has given up 51 goals, and that is bad. That is about as bad as it gets here in the championship. Wigan gives up 54. They give up a lot of goals. Remember all this as we go. Reading has given up 54 goals. Swansea has given up 52. QPR has given up 52. Blackpool, Huddersfield, 51. Okay, so if West Brom's going to get completely right, this is the game that they should get right. If you take them at home, I think we're going to maybe find better plays on the board. But the only way I could take them at home is like over 2.5 is just plus 200. It just doesn't seem like that's a good enough price for me. I feel like this is a 1-0 win in the rain. Burnley against Wigan. I think this is a game you can get down on. And you just take Burnley all day on this one. We'll throw this into our EPL little play that I have going for you guys that I'll get Nephew Dave to post. Figure Burnley scores 3.5 goals. I don't care if it's raining or not. 2.5 is plus 200, plus 560. We'll take a chance with Burnley to firmly put a staple mark on this season against Wigan, who is a very bad team. Burnley will win this game at home. Plus 560 to get the 4 goals is something I'm going to take a shot with, to be honest. If we go first half goals too, I'd be interested in that. Let's see what we get. Home team, first half, over 1.5 goals. Getting off to a hot start is plus 320. I feel like if you get, that's just, it's a cheaper number because I guess it's the premise you get ahead and you shut it down. I don't know. I think the goal is going to be open all day. Wigan has given it up. Burnley scores the most. I mean, literally, they have scored 68 goals, and Wigan has given up the most. This is what you want. Isn't this the formula that you want? And the home teams at home, rating or not, Burnley is the bad weather team. We said it before. Okay, QPR and Watford. How do you not take Watford? QPR has lost 5 games in a row now. It's not like they've been any better before that. They've been having a dreadful season after having a scorching hot start and being one of the better teams last year. They've been anything but that. Watford, it's not like they've been blowing your mind away, really. And they're floating out there. They're in contention for that playoff spot. They've only had 1 win in their last 5. Yeah, they have 3 draws. So it's not like they super excite you. This game is at QPR. I mean, oh my God, dude, they're so bad. You do get plus 215 if QPR can score twice. If you want to take a shot on that, I guess. Does Watford give up goals? Yeah, not really. They've given up only 38 on the year. That's not too bad. Yeah, that's pretty decent in retrospect of things. Scoring 41 themselves. But QPR, only 36 goals. They've given up 52. So maybe Watford does get some goals here. Home team over 2, or away team over 2.5. You get a big number. Let's see. Plus 480. If you just need a dancing partner and need something to go with, I guess take it. Coventry and Hull. Coventry is a team. 4 out of their last 5 they've won. So they've been playing well. I don't know how they do it, to be honest. I feel like I missed them at every opportunity. 41 goals scored for Coventry. They've given up 34. They are in that mix to be in the playoffs too. So this is a big chance for them. Hull, not the greatest team. Coventry, I guess you try them with goals at home if the weather is conducive to that. All this depends on the weather of this hometown here. So check it before game time. But plus 420 for Coventry to beat Hull at home. Hull gives up a ton of goals too. They're one of the teams that gives up goals. 48 goals is still a good mark. Well, they've tightened up their act. They were the leader in giving up goals for a while. They have tightened up their act a little bit. But Coventry would be the pick here. I think Burnley's still the strongest play by far with their goals. Nephew Dave? Hey, what's up? Are you calling me to tell me that I'm off the air? No, I'm on the air. I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, bye. Bye-bye. Nephew Dave there, checking in on his route over here to say hi. Okay, so where did we leave off? Let me get my lines back. Oh, yeah, Coventry. Hull has given up a decent amount of goals, just not lately. But I guess you trust Coventry, weather pending. Preston and Cardiff. Cardiff is right above that Mendoza line, but 6 points, it seems safe enough for now. They just need to get a wins. So this is a big chance for a win against Preston, who's not that much better. I guess with 47 points they are. Preston has been a draw machine, 4 draws in their last 5 games. Cardiff, 3 wins of their last 4. So they're one of the hotter teams. Yeah, when we mentioned the teams at the bottom having 8 wins in the last 5 weeks, the bottom 8 teams, 3 of those are due to Cardiff. So the stats are way worse if you take them out of the mix. So at least Cardiff is winning games. They're getting plus 210. I don't know. This game reeks of a draw to me. Yeah, I don't know. Better plays on the board for sure. Reading and Millwall. Reading gives up a lot of goals. Millwall, I feel like, has been better at scoring. Am I right? They have 45 goals scored. And they were on a little bit of a heater and cooled off. Yeah, I don't know. Millwall, it's not like they blow my socks off at all. But Reading does give up a ton of goals. This game is on the road at Reading. Again, check the weather for slop. Yeah. Millwall probably just wins this game, and that would be like a 2-0, 1-0 type of dealio. That's just what I think. Swansea and Middlesbrough. Swansea gives up a ton of goals to people, and Middlesbrough is a machine on offense. You're getting plus 110 for Middlesbrough to win this game. If the weather permits here, and this is a game in Wales, so this is not close to London. You need to really check your map for your rain on this one. But the Swansea weather, I don't even know if that will play a factor. This could be the highest scoring game. If Swansea can put their act together and get their goals, which they have the capability to do, sometimes not as much lately at all, but Middlesbrough for sure can score. They are a machine. Middlesbrough, to get the 4 goals is 11-1. Oh, to get the 3 goals is 4-1. That's a nice price. They destroyed their opponent last week. The complete over-under for the collaborative effort of 5.5 to get to the magic number of 6 goals, which I think actually could happen in this game. 15-1 odds. All right, so keep that in mind. That's a nice, big, juicy number. For Swansea and Middlesbrough, that is, again, that's one of the better plays of the week. And I think anything Middlesbrough goals, you take them. 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for those two. As we go through a couple more Saturday games, Sheffield and Luton. That should be a good game overall. Really no opinion there. Check the weather. Maybe you get goals. But this could be one of those 1-1 tight games too. Doesn't really float my boat. Birmingham and Rotherham doesn't float my boat, although Rotherham's been playing better. They've been one of the sneakier teams. I keep thinking they're going to really be kind of crappy, but they've won 2 of their last 3. So that's pretty decent form, especially in this league. Birmingham has lost 4 out of their last 5. So Rotherham, who is just one step above them in the standings, is getting 3-1 odds. I would take a shot on Rotherham, to be honest. Birmingham hasn't proven they can't score at all. Rotherham goals, maybe to get to 2, is actually kind of sneaky. You always want some sneaky stuff. Rotherham, away team, over 1.5 is plus 280. I think that's a great bet. All right, so I would take a shot on that one. Maybe we'll just go ahead and throw that in. That's an El Cheapo play. It's that parlay. Wow, look at this parlay now. $10 is winning 33,000 on these 5 things that happen. And these all could easily happen. Lord. Okay, we'll get to it in 1 second. Sunday games. And then we have a bunch of Tuesday games and Wednesday games. All right. We'll just do the, I don't know, 2. We can't read into those yet. We need to see these games first. But the Sunday game, 8 o'clock, Sunderland and Norwich. Again, this could be an over game. Norwich has scored a lot of goals. Sunderland plays an over type of game anyway. They've scored goals themselves. This could be over 3.5. I would think would be a nice number to get to. Let's see what that pays. Anything plus 2 or better is great. Plus 245 over 3.5. I think that's fine. Could they get to 4.5? I think they could. Your Sunday morning super excitement plus 630. But yeah, too rich for the blood, I guess. Okay. We will take Norwich off. But we'll do this. We'll put these 5 picks together. If we do it in a round robin format, you can do the numbers at home yourself. But okay. Picture for the Twitter. Okay, over Fulham, 1.5 goals plus 290. Remember, Arsenal has a lot of injuries that they're dealing with, and Fulham is at home. We'll take a shot with that. Please, dry conditions for these, because I like the chances of it's dry. All right, you take a shot with Aston Villa over 2.5 goals of West Ham. That's plus 750. That's a nice number. Aston Villa, I think they get to 2 goals, definitely. Do they get to 3? That's scary, but we're going to put them in there. Newcastle, over 2.5 goals at home. I think that's a safer bet than the Aston Villa for sure. Newcastle can finally open it up at home, I think, against the Wolves. Have a good game there. Burnley to destroy Wigan. Remember, this is the highest scoring team in the championship against the worst team as far as giving up goals, and the last place team, Wigan. Burnley to get to 4 goals at home, and what should be a dagger in the heart of the rest of the league celebration for them to be the champions, because they will just separate themselves from the pack more probably after the Sunday ends. But Burnley over 3.5 goals, and then we'll take a shot with the Rotherham over 1.5 goals plus 280. If you do all these in a round robin we'll do $5 each leg. If you hit 2 of them, your average payout is going to be about $130. If you hit 3 of them, then you're going to win about $1,000. If 4 of the 5 happen, you're going to win about $5,000, maybe a little bit more. So 4 of these 5 hit, and you do this as far as a $5 a leg here. And then if they all hit, you're going to win a grand total of $52,000. So these 5 plays again, we'll put them on Twitter at deepin5757. Fulham over 1.5 goals. We will do over Aston Villa 2.5 team goals. These are for the team. Newcastle home team over 2.5 goals. Newcastle. Burnley over 3.5 goals. Home team, and away team Rotherham over 1.5 goals. All right. Good luck. If you want to just play the 5, let's see. How much does that round robin cost? $130. So $130 investment to win $52,000 if you go 5-0. If you go 4-1, you'll win about $5,000. If you go 3-2, you'll win about $1,000. And if you win 2 of the 5, you will break about even. All right. So worth a shot. All right. This is the Friday Soccer Paycheck. Good luck on your tickets. Again, look out for the weather and bet accordingly to that. Don't be afraid to throw a bunch of draws together on the games that you're not sure of, which we're not even sure of these. Really, these are more weather dependent. If we get downpours, raging downpours, less likely any of this will happen. All right, guys, have a good one. Take it easy. Bye-bye from Virginia Beach, Virginia, the United States of America. Whoa!